let's get started right away. You have a writing journal. Where does this door lead? So see, you have a really cool looking door. I wonder where it goes.
Don't know.
Our weekly agenda. Make sure you're reading that, looking through it, and completing everything on the list. Weekly objectives. This week we have, of course, use a new vocabulary. We do that every week. Analyze a third-person point of view. Analyze how authors use details to develop voice. Research connections between people and their pets. Write a story about an animal using newly acquired vocabulary. Present a story using text and visuals. Use Latin roots to develop vocabulary. Analyze how writers use complex sentences. And discuss how to use words to describe images. We have a lot to do this week, guys.
We have a lot to do this week. And our vocabulary this week, we're going to look at our new vocabulary. Benefit, sensitive, anxiety, injury, and displease. And I feel like we're going to know anxiety already because, boy, have we talked about that a lot with our story in the ravine. Okay, so a benefit is a noun. It's something that provides help or improves something else. Enjoy the benefits of being a member of our team. And you can see the poster here says the brain benefits of exercise. So it's providing help. Synonyms are reward or help. Antonyms are disadvantage or drawback. And then we've got sensitive, an adjective, able to perceive small differences or changes in the environment. Reptiles are very sensitive to temperature changes. You can see a little, maybe a moth there that's sensitive to the finger that it's sitting on. Synonyms are reactive and vulnerable. Antonyms are insensitive and unaware. So if you're sensitive, you notice small changes in things. Okay, anxiety is a noun. It is a feeling of uneasiness, fear, or worry. You can see in the picture that the lady she's holding her head, she looks like she's very worried about something. I had a feeling of anxiety before my math test. It's that feeling that hits you when your stomach starts getting all twisty and it feels like you have an octopus in there. I know that came from a story we just read. Synonyms are worry and concern. Antonyms are calmness and serenity. Injury is a noun. It means damage or harm done to a person or thing. The injury came from falling out of my treehouse. Again, you see the man, he's holding his back. He had an injury. I think most of you are going to be familiar with that word. Synonyms are wound or bruise. Antonyms are healing or recovery. Displease is a verb. So this is an action word. It means to cause annoyance or irritation. It would displease my mother if I cheated on the test. It would make her upset. And if you see the little girl, she is throwing a temper tantrum. She is very displeased with probably whatever her mother has said. Maybe her mom said, come in the house, we're gonna go take a bath, we're not gonna play outside anymore. And she's throwing a fit because that's not what she wanted. Synonyms are annoy or irritate. And antonyms are please and calm. And now, it is the moment we have been waiting for anxiously. We have a new essential question.
But you know what, guys? Before we do that, I have a new pet at my house, and I think we should take a pet break.
first unit, and now we get a new essential question, and we have a quote from Jane Goodall to kind of kick off this unit, because it's all through stories through an animal's eyes.
Ooh, that is perfect.
Yes.
We've been doing so many pet breaks and we've talked so much about animals. It's going to be so exciting to see through their eyes.
Yes. So this says, I have wished that I could look out into the world through the eyes with the mind of a chimpanzee. And our essential question is, what can you learn by seeing the world through an animal's eyes? So we're going to be looking at several stories this unit that take place from an animal's point of view. And they are super cool stories and very fun.
I'm excited.
And you are definitely going to want to check out our preview video for Pax. Pax is the first story in this unit, and it is about a little fox.
Aww.
It is a very, without giving too much away, bittersweet story.
Oh, that's a good word.
Bittersweet's a good word.
Yes.
It means there's going to be some happy and some sad tied in, and you're going to have to really read it and find out what happened.
Yes. And so make sure that you go through that preview video and you listen so that you can preview, predict, find out what the author's purpose is, because remember, we're looking at stories that are told through a very different point of view this time. So the purpose of those may be a little bit different than what we're used to reading.
Sure.
And also, we're going to talk about prior knowledge. So make sure you watch that preview video, because it's going to be really, really good. And so
Watch your video. After this,
Now,
you're going to watch your preview video.
we've got something new for you this week.
All right, so we are going to work on making an inference and using text evidence. It's so important, guys, when you're answering a question, that you use evidence to support that inference, that answer. So I want you to look right here at these shoes. The question says, what is one inference you can make about the owner of this pair of shoes? So first we have to notice what we see here. I see they're a pair of Nikes. They're really, really dirty, okay? They have mud on them. There's splatters of mud on them. They're white and red, so they could actually, I think, be a boy or a girl color. They're kind of a medium size, so again, it's kind of hard to tell if they're female or male. So let's look at how we would make an inference. When we make an inference or answer a question, we need to use this format. I infer blank, that's where we infer, about the owner of these shoes because, and then we tell what we noticed or our evidence. So I could say, I infer that the owner of these shoes got caught in a rainstorm because there is mud splattered on the shoes. What's an inference you could make, Ms. Shuttlesworth?
I infer that this person was playing in the mud because the shoes are all muddy.
Okay.
So maybe they weren't in a rainstorm, maybe they were just playing in the mud.
Right. What do you think, Miss Norman?
I infer that these shoes were worn by a cross-country runner at a meet because they're very dirty and they look like running shoes to me.
Oh, that was good.
So we each took what we could see in this picture, our evidence, and we made an inference using the evidence. Now, your inference may or may not be correct. When you're reading along, you can confirm or realize that that was incorrect and change up those inferences and those predictions. But you should always be looking at your text evidence to make those inferences. We don't make inferences based on just what we already know. We have to have this text piece. So we'll be practicing these several different times throughout the year.
Yes. And we are sticking with complex sentences this week. And we were getting really good at those, and so we're going to keep
So
going.
we're getting much better at those.
Yeah.
And so remember that writers use different sentence structures to connect ideas together. And a complex sentence has an independent clause, a dependent clause, and one or more subordinating conjunctions. So that and more subordinating conjunctions is we're adding on this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so an independent clause has both a subject and a verb, and it can stand alone. A subordinate clause, also called a dependent clause, we're adding on again this week, has a subject and a verb, but cannot stand alone as a sentence. And subordinate clauses start with words like when, until, who, where, because, and so that. So remember our words that we made kind of like that song with last week?
So we sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with those words.
Keep those words in mind. And so some complex sentences. When I get a good night's sleep, I wake up feeling refreshed. So in this complex sentence, when I get a good night's sleep is our subordinate or dependent clause. And remember, we found our word that was really important. And everything from that word to the comma is our dependent clause. And then I wake up feeling refreshed is our independent clause. That can stand alone by itself because it has a subject, I, and then a verb, wake, right? That's the verb, the action. And so this has a dependent clause and an independent clause, and it makes a complex sentence. So some complex sentences. So can you identify the dependent clause? When I broke the plate, I had to clean it up myself. Ms. Shuttlesworth, do you think you can identify the dependent clause?
So dependent means that it's depending on something else. So I'm going to look for my keyword. I see the word when. So the dependent clause is when I broke the plate.
Oh, let's see. Yay!
Good job.
I looked for
Yay.
that subordinating conjunction.
Yes, so we looked for our special word and we went all the way to the comma. Okay? Before I frosted the cake, I let it cool. Miss Cook, can you identify our dependent clause?
Well, I see a subordinating conjunction up there, before, so I think that the dependent clause would be before I frosted the cake.
Let's see.
Yay! Good
We're
job.
on a roll. And our next one, after the party, we cleaned the house and did the dishes. Okay, back to you, Miss Shuttlesworth.
Okay, so that dependent clause is, it's got to depend on somebody else to help it. So I see the word after. So after the party is your dependent clause.
Yes, that is correct. We are
Nice.
doing so well. And so now you are going to go and you
You're
are
gonna
going to try and
practice.
identify those dependent clauses on your own. So good luck, guys.
And guess what?
Oh.
Once you have done all of these things, be sure that you go and watch that preview video of PAX, because you're going to want to hear that cool stuff. Once you've done everything, put your check marks in your head, and you're done.
And guys, can I just say one thing? Make sure that you are completing your assignment before you push turn
Yes,
in.
that would be important.
I'm getting several blank assignments.
Yep, me
That's
too.
like handing me a paper that isn't done. You wouldn't do that if you were in class, handing me a blank paper. Why would you do that online? Starting this week, if you turn in a blank paper, it's going to be a 0, period.
Well, and when you turn it in and we've typed back and said it's empty, you need to finish it, and you turn right back around and turn it in, that makes us think that you want to keep that 0, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's back.
Oh my
Oh, our
goodness.
box, it appeared again. What's in it this time?
It's not terribly heavy. I don't want to shake it because, do we have one hint?
It has to do with the past 2 weeks.
Is it, I was going to say, is it like rainy? Because it's been so rainy the last 2 weeks.
Oh, that's true.
I did not capture the rain.
That would be so
Okay,
cool.
I'll show you. I'm so
Show
excited. Okay.
A Band-Aid.
Because I had to have surgery and be out for a while, but I'm back.
We're so glad.
Yay.
All right, guys, it's so good to see you again. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.